What's up, guys? We've got back with the videos, so hopefully this will help as you plan your week of training. Kind of think about what we're going to be doing in the gym and anything you want to be doing. In addition to that, just kind of plan accordingly so we can work to supplement your training rather than do anything that's going to be counterproductive. Um, so take a few minutes, look up what we've got this week. Hopefully this will help, like I said, in your training and planning for your training. So Monday we're going to start. We've got, hopefully you're not feeling too bad. You should be off that deload week, so should be relatively fresh. We've got 12-minute AMRAP of 12 total bar, 200-meter run, 12 swings, 200-meter run. And I changed the numbers to the colors here so you can see which one is going to be the most appropriate for you. Your goal will be about 4 rounds, so anything above that would be great. Nothing too crazy. Just trying to get the blood flowing here and trying to mix it up and do the Metcon first, and then get into these back squats. So hopefully the midline will be nice and warm, the hamstrings will be nice and warm, and you can get into these squats 5x5 at 77%. Make sure that you are resting, sit down in between, rest in between those sets. And then we've got a cash out, so working on some skill work. It's going to be quick, so Tabata double unders, so 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. And then your score is going to be the lowest set. So if you've ever done Tabata, that's typically how it goes. So the goal is to be as consistently high as possible. So working on that. Otherwise, spend about 4 minutes just practicing those double unders if you do not have them yet. Tuesday, we're going to do EMOM style every 2 minutes for 20. We're going to do 3 deadlifts, 5 handstand push-ups or push press, and then 8 box jumps or step-ups. I want this to start at 70% or 70% effort if that number seems off to you, but I want you to go ahead and start at a relatively workable weight there, not something I don't want you dropping down to 50%. And then climbing in those sets for the last 3 at 85% or higher if you're feeling good. And then after deadlifts, it's always a good idea to do work basically the opposite position. So we're going to do some sit-ups, 1 minute on, 1 minute off, as many of those as you can. Add weight if possible. You can sub GHDs if that is good for you. Just get some midline work in there after those deadlifts. And then Wednesday, front squats 6x2 or 5x3 at 77%. Same thing, make sure you're sitting down in between these, working on keeping that core tight and elbows high. Then we're going to do barbell cycling workout. So we got a little bit away from the barbell last week. We're trying to get back on it. Now, very important, the goal with barbell cycling is not to spend the entire workout trying to lift the bar from the ground. The goal is to cycle the heaviest amount of weight as quickly as possible. So, I want the weight to be as challenging as possible to where you can still move through these movements in a relatively quick speed. So there's a 15-minute cap, so just keep that in mind as you kind of choose your weights. But no matter what you do, I want you to add 10 pounds each round for 3 rounds, and then you're going to decrease by 10 pounds for the last 2. Okay? So you go up by 10, down by 10. Make sure you pay attention to that and don't get confused. And then we've got, very important, I know this is not fun or flashy, but anytime we do any of these kind of heavier, harder workouts, especially after all these squatting, you're going to want to do some recovery run, flush the legs out, row or airdyne, just get the blood flowing to kind of reduce some of that soreness. And Thursday, we've got 4 sets of 5 on the push press. Same thing, working on some cycling overhead and some breathing. So working on how to breathe with the barbell. We're going to use the percent of your jerk. So not the percent of your heaviest push press, but the percent of your heaviest jerk, working up to 55% or 60% if that feels good. And then we've got 4 sets of 4-minute AMRAP, 400-meter run, 20 wall balls, and then as many pull-up variations as possible. And then you're going to rest 1 minute in between each set, so it'll be a 20-minute session. So whether your pull-ups are chest to bar, regular chin over the bar, or assisted, your score will be each round as many of those pull-ups as possible. After that, we're going to do some gymnastics practice, so getting upside down, working on 15-second nose and toes, so belly facing the wall, and then overhead weighted plate carry, so you hold one plate in each hand overhead, work on some forearm balance. If that's fine, if that's good for you and you want to try some handstand walking, go for it. We got 4 sets of as far as you can in the gym. Rest as much as needed in between, and try to be as consistent as possible as far as how far you can walk. Your shoulders will be pretty tired after that. Friday back squat, same thing, 6x1, 93%, making sure we rest 2 minutes in between each of those sets. And then we got a little fun team workout for AMRAP, 18 minutes. You're going to alternate after each round, so you have to finish the entire round before your partner can go. You're going to do 20 or 16 calorie row, 8 bar facing burpees, and then 6 ground overhead. The ground overhead, remember, can be clean and jerk or snatch. If you want to work on your snatch and maybe go a little bit lighter, you can absolutely do that. If you want to work on a little bit lighter weight clean and jerk, and work on the same thing, working on some of that cycling and maybe go touch and go on these, absolutely, that would be great too. If you're in the lift category, just get a 16 calorie row, so about a minute, 8 burpees, and then 4 ground overhead, so working on the movement, a little bit lighter weight there. And then the goal is to stick around maybe about 2 minutes per round per partner. Anything above 6 rounds for lift, 7 rounds for train. Anything above that would be great. And then Saturday we're gonna have a little team workout as usual, a little community workout. So make sure you bring your friends, anyone that might be interested, and we can have a good time. All right, guys. Any questions? Let us know.